Increase is a hard sell. The county's tax rate is the lowest in Oregon, at 59 cents per $1,000 of property value. The levy would raise that rate to $1.48 for the next 3 years. Les Monk runs a convenience store just outside of Grants Pass.
I'm not going to vote for it. Things are no worse or better now than they were when they were fully funded.
Like some people here, Monk says he doesn't trust law enforcement. He says he can take care of himself. He pulls the shirt to the side to prove the point.
Anything I'm carrying, you'll see it on me.
So what are you carrying right now?
A knife. People have to understand you will and are able to defend your property.
But supporters of the levy say not everyone in the county can defend themselves. They say a consequence of having so few deputies is that vulnerable people like women and the elderly are increasingly victims of crime. Last year, the Josephine County Sheriff's Department lost a multi-million-dollar federal subsidy for timber-dependent counties. The sheriff laid off 23 deputies and eliminated the entire Major Crimes Division. Of the 6 deputies left, 2 are limited to patrolling federal forest lands and the Rogue River because of the way they're funded. After the cuts, the sheriff put out a press release warning victims of domestic violence to, quote, consider relocating to an area with adequate law enforcement services. Then, on August 18th of last year, a woman in Cave Junction placed this call.
911 emergency. My ex-boyfriend is trying to break into my house. I'm not letting him in, but he's tried to break down the door and he's trying to break into one of the windows.
The threat she was reporting was real. Her ex, a man named Michael Bella, eventually pleaded guilty to kidnapping, assault, and sex abuse for what he did when he got inside the house. The woman has asked us not to use her name. When she called 911, she explained that Bella had hurt her before.
He put me in the hospital a few weeks ago, and I've been trying to keep him away.
The call came in on a Saturday at 4:58 in the morning. Josephine County deputies are only available 8 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, because of the staffing limitations. So the dispatcher transferred her call to the state police.
Oregon State Police, this is Ray. Hi, Ray. This is Dean at Joe County 911. I have a caller.
The Oregon State Police say their primary responsibility isn't responding to 911 calls like this one. It's traffic safety, patrolling the highways. But in the rural parts of Josephine County, the state police are often the only law enforcement agents available on the weekends. Since the county layoffs, their office in Grants Pass has received about 3 times as many calls as in the past. But it's a small office. Here's a recording of the state police dispatcher's response to the woman's call for help that day.
I don't have anybody to send out there.
Okay.
Obviously, if he comes inside the residence and assaults you, can you ask him to go away, or do you know if he's intoxicated or anything?
I've already asked him. I've already told him I was calling you. He's broken before, busted down my door, assaulted me.
The state police dispatcher stays on the phone with the woman for 10 minutes and 21 seconds. She asks if Bella has a weapon. The woman says no. The woman tells the dispatcher there's already a warrant out for Bella's arrest.
Is he still there?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
The dispatcher tells the caller to try to hide in the house. And 4 times in total, she says there isn't anyone who can help.
Once again, it's unfortunate that you guys don't have any law enforcement up there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If he gets in the house, I'm done.
A few minutes later, according to police records, Michael Bella used a piece of metal to pry open the woman's front door. He choked her and sexually assaulted her. Later that day, he was arrested by the state police. Gil Gilbertson is the Josephine County Sheriff. Gilbertson didn't want to discuss the details of this particular case. But he says, unfortunately, it's common for victims of crime in Josephine County to call 911 and not get a response.
There isn't a day go by that we don't have another victim.
He ties that directly to the lack of funding.
If you don't pay the bill, you don't get the service.
Sergeant First Class Jeff Prue is the supervisor at the Oregon State Police Grants Pass office.
I don't have the resources to respond to everybody's phone call, unfortunately.
Prue also wouldn't answer questions about the 911 call from the woman seeking help last year. He says since then, 4 extra troopers have been temporarily transferred to his office to cut the response time to calls. But he doesn't have any troopers working between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning. He usually has just 2 troopers working per shift. and they only respond to 911 calls about life-threatening emergencies that are in progress.
If it's an immediate threat or a serious physical injury has happened, we will respond. Our response time may be limited or delayed based on other calls because I don't have the resources.
Through her attorney, the woman who made the emergency call said in a statement she felt hopeless, alone, and very scared on that day. She said she is aware of the levy on the ballot and thinks the funding could help prevent situations like the one she lived through. Chris Millette runs the Illinois Valley Safe House Alliance. She provides counseling and services to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. Bags of clothes and children's toys are stacked up outside her door.
The whole system has crumbled, and we're the only ones left, and we don't have the badge, and we don't have the gun.
Millette says since the public safety cuts last year, she's seen women give up on trying to get help from the police and choose instead to stay with their abusers.
Because they're more likely to get killed if they leave. They're more likely to be stalked if they leave. And when they know that there's not going to be a police response, they're a lot less likely to take those steps.
Voters in Josephine County will decide on the public safety levy in the May 21st special election. In Grants Pass, Oregon, I'm Amelia Templeton.